You're watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
Together we are Raw
Break.
Break and Families Wednesday, and decided to talk about AEW Dynamite, a show that, lately he's giving us really good shows, like getting us all interested. I think it's like the boom of AEW. Everybody's talking about AEW, but like on this show, probably not as much. I think the first bout that we have, it was really good, and probably the highlight of the show, we had a TNT Championship match. Probably but also like tribute for Brody Lee is his hometown. So like a lot of like people reminiscing him, his life, his career. So a pretty mixed views for this Dynamite for me, Paul.
Yeah, overall, I would say this was a passable episode for Dynamite. If the episode we saw last week was one of their best.
Yes,
we said that on our review. Go check it out if you haven't seen, where we talk about Bryan Danielson and Omega, going to the time limit draw. And, there was some fallout for that this week. That was some of the good stuff we saw. So there was some good stuff on the show. But then, there was the Moxley, tag match. And
the unneeded stuff, yes.
Against these jobber guys, Bear Country and all this. It's like there's stuff on the show we didn't really care about. I mean, MJF and Darby Allin was good. So there was some good stuff, which we'll get into. But overall, mixed bag, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. Mixed reviews on this, family. Thank you so very much for being with us one more time, and always keep supporting the channel. We love you for that, and we will keep delivering the best content. Don't forget, right here, the NXT 2.0 review, like the recap. Mandy Rose is actually wants to become the brand new NXT Women's Champion, and we'll see what happens because Raquel Gonzalez retained against Frankie Monet.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction. We said, if they really want to get them over, and, all three members, they have the sex appeal. They were really pushing that this week. It was pretty much a dominated show by the women's roster. And I think they're pushing that to try to get the viewers, that kind of demographic. We'd mentioned that. That's been reported as well. So, we got to see, her versus Raquel. We even said, if she beats her, it would be fine for Mandy Rose. We don't hate it. We're not really super opposed to the idea. So, but then is Raquel going to get called up? Because we see a lot of people
draft. Yeah, Fridays when it starts. So we're going to talk about we will talk about that when the draft starts. SmackDown. That's going to be on Friday.
Enough WWE.
Exactly. Now, so let's talk about this show that had CM Punk on commentary from Rochester. Looking, man. Yep, exactly. We had he was from commentary, and Rochester, New York for Brody Lee. That was his hometown, and we opened up with Jungle Boy and Adam Cole, baby. This is I said, the highlight of the show was the beginning, the first 18 minutes of the two guys same size, all of that. So a lot of people were probably pissed because midgets, you will call them, but we will not use that word. But what do you think of this bout? Pretty solid for both guys.
Oh, I mean, this was fantastic. Adam Cole, he was so great in this match, selling Jungle Boy's offense, but you still knew Adam Cole was in charge. He was cocky during this match. He was still Adam Cole, but Jungle Boy still looked good. I mean, the dives to the outside and stuff, it wasn't constant. It wasn't all the time. It wasn't dive. It was a big spot. Adam Cole kicks him on the outside. No. Then Jungle Boy takes him out. Good stuff. The Spike Hurricane Rana was really good as well. And I pop for the line from CM Punk on commentary when he goes, "What a maneuver!"
Oh yeah, taking a small shot at Vince McMahon. Great stuff.
I mean, it was funny. I don't care who you are. Even Vince, if Vince probably watched this, he probably would have laughed. I mean, that was funny. And
it was good. It was well done. Yeah, exactly.
The Panama Sunrise, he kicks out. Adam Cole can't believe it. The snare trap. Oh my God, Adam Cole, he's crawling. He's almost at the ropes. Jungle Boy pulls him back, but he kicks him off. And the only thing that really took me out of this match was the ending. Was when, they had him against the ropes and Aubrey was there and he kind of did the mule kick, right, like Miro did against Kingston. The nut shot set him up for the last shot. And then, 1, 2, 3, he gets the win. So I really don't like that because, it's something we just saw. So it's okay, really, is everybody is Omega going to do that when he goes against Danielson soon? You know what I mean? It's it's overused, especially.
It was like you said, but we knew that in the end Adam Cole was going to win. Why? Because
he should have been something where maybe he just rolled them up. We always make fun, roll up the strongest move in WWE and everything, but I mean, I don't know, a better way to cheat or something. Grab the tights, kick, you know,
something that it will be a little more, rather than just something that they've used that they done before on Rampage. But I mean, that's what we have. So Adam Cole also cut a promo because the members of the Elite came out, and he was just saying that he promised that he was going to win. He's been, Jungle Boy. He did it, and he's still undefeated on AEW, and that makes him more elite than anything. So the one thing that I did appreciate that is like they went to right away what happened, last week with Omega and Danielson. So Omega was talking, cutting like you said. Without Don Callis, he can cut really great promos. He's way more serious. His character looks more dominant, more believable as a champion. He says that like his phone is being blowing up just because like everybody talking about the match with like Daniel Bryanson, but that is never gonna happen again. One and done, right? But then Danielson comes out and he calls them like no balls Omega or ballless Omega, like no testicular fortitude. And he says, well, we're going to have to do this somewhere else another time. So this is going to happen. But in the end, like Omega also mentions that he will want to we want to do it. Let's do it right now. But that kind of like makes him go to AEW Rampage. And then he's going to fight Nick Jackson, I think. Right, Paul?
Yeah, I honestly didn't even hear who they said he was going to fight.
It's Nick Jackson,
but there we go. There's the picture. They might have shown it during one of the awful segments where I zoned out. Who knows? But, here we see the match. And, of course, Daniel Bryan's going to go over. Or Bryan Danielson, excuse me. He's going to go over here. And, they teased a big smoz because, obviously, we saw Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, all of them come out. And, as much as I like, a group going against the Elite, I think it's better that it's just one guy. I feel like it should just be Bryan Danielson because, Christian Cage is legit, but the fact that he comes out like Bryan Danielson is like the Batman. It's like, come here, Robin. Like it makes him feel like less of his own star to be coming.
Yeah, no, and it's a problem. It is a problem because like he became right away the main star. He became the leader. He became leading actor on this situation, and then Christian right away to like the second field.
Yeah, and Kazarian as well. I don't know. I feel like you should just find different stuff to do with some of these guys. I can understand Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and all them because he just obviously had the match with Adam Cole. But the other two guys really find something else for them to do. It just makes them look like losers, but. Bryan Danielson's great. Omega's great. I think next time they do this, it's going to be the pay-per-view. And I don't really – is that who you put the belt on, or do you think it stays on Omega?
Nah, I think that they will put the title on Bryan. I don't want to see it done, but I think they're going to do it.
You don't think the fans will be like, oh, that's bullshit. You give it to him.
Yeah, but for me, it will be. I will say it's bullshit because it's he's a WWE guy. It's look for another guy that is more AEW owned, instead of just putting it right away on a guy that he clearly has a pass on WWE. But they probably will do that. Omega has been the champion for almost a year. So, they're probably going to do that. And, I don't know if I'm going to like the end result, but I can see it happening. So, let's talk about, before we go to, the next matches, we get to see a promo by, the tag team champions of AEW, also, the AAA champions, right there, Penta, Miro, and Rey Fenix. And then Andrade, he says, where's Pac? And he's like, guys, you haven't defeated those, AAA championships in a while. So, all of this, and then, Penta accepts. He's like, I have a few friends, Andrade says. Not too bad this time. I don't think he was overbearing with the language and everything, but I feel that Pac is still the feud and everything, but I think that what happened with Ric Flair also had to change the storyline and everything because now he's still looking kind of like a manager. So tell me, do you like this? For me, it's all right. They're still feuding, it's all good.
I really didn't care for this too much because it's we don't know what to do with these guys. Let's just shoehorn in the AAA titles. It's we've never seen them have them on TV before. I've never seen them come out. They didn't come out with them at the pay-per-view that I remember. I don't remember seeing all these belts. It's just we have it on TV now because, like you said, we want to keep this storyline going. And I feel, when the Young Bucks were tag champs, they were on TV all the time, big matches. We see the Lucha Bros, and they're the tag champs, and they're
and they never defend.
Butcher and the Blade. That's not an interesting feud. Nobody wants to see that. Why don't we see them versus FTR, them versus Santana and Ortiz? Those are the matches.
Those are the stuff that we're looking for, but we didn't see any of that. We got
Andrade brings some top, Mexican, star, that's really oh my God, nobody believes it. Yeah, if he just brings some nobody and everybody's like. You know, then
Yeah,
it's not.
it's going to be bad, exactly. So I don't know. I don't know what they have to do, but they need to like give more credible opponents to the Lucha Bros because it took way. The match was so good at all out, so they need to do something like that. They need to do a little better. And we got to see Dante Martin and Matt Sydal against Cody Rhodes, Lee Johnson. This was absolutely unnecessary. Why? Because all of them babyface, right? All of them were baby faces. Why? Because you needed to give me a story. You needed to give me a way out. You needed to give me something different with Cody because he got booed out yesterday. And not yesterday, last week on the return with Brandy and all of that. Malakai Black. So I mean, the match, like you said, like is good. They try to promote also Dan Martin. They try to promote these guys, Matt Sydal, all of them, Lee Johnson. I mean, Cody's just right there, kind of like, hey, like I think in trying to make sure the match is okay. But what did you think? At the end, Lee Johnson wins. But like the main thing, and then I want you to tell me this: Arn Anderson got a really great promo and make Cody look bad.
Yeah, I mean, well, pretty much the match, if you kind of watch it, you see Cody was just beating up everybody. He wasn't tagging in Lee Johnson. Lee's like, what the fuck, tag me in? Eventually, Cody was against the ropes, and Lee Johnson grabs him and pretty much drags him in the corner and tags himself in. And, he was the one who got the pin. So, you would think in this match, Cody's going to get the pin. He's going to be like, oh, okay, Lee, thanks for helping out. But no, Lee Johnson got the dominant win. And then after the match, Arn cuts the promo and pretty much says, like, you're weak-minded. If you're not a fighter, he's like Malakai Black, he's a killer. He's a psycho. He's like, I'd fight him myself, but I'm too damn old. But you know what the difference between you and me is? He's like, if somebody,
try to break in my car,
break in our car. He's like, and they said, get out. He's like, you would say, okay, just don't shoot me. He's like, I would pull out a Glock, put it against his head and blow his brains out. And he's like, Lee, come on. He's like, you at least listen to me. So you see, like when he was pretty much saying that Cody doesn't listen to anything he tries to teach him, and so he pretty much, I guess, wiped his hands clean of Cody. I mean, the promo was a little intense for like what was going on. I was like, what the hell? I mean, he was fired up. It was legit. So, but cutting a promo like this, I wanted Cody to turn heel. I feel like this
and maybe that's what's going to happen.
I feel
maybe
like this turned Arn and Lee Johnson heel. I mean, in the world of kayfabe, to me, they're babyface because I would have told Cody the same thing, but. I mean, in the world of this storyline, they're the heels.
Yeah, and so we'll see. I mean, it's good though. Like we needed something different with Cody though. He needs a switch. He needs something that because Malakai, okay, the feud. I don't know if it's going to continue. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's the end of it.
Unless this is some storyline that nobody's the same after they fight Malakai Black. It says he kicked Arn. He kicked Lee Johnson, so maybe they're not the same. Maybe this is all, Malakai Black's evil powers. We don't know. That's what I mean.
Maybe that could be a factor. That could be a new element that they could use. It's like, hey, he had some type of like thing after you fight him. Like you said, there's always like those side effects. You change. So we'll see what happens, but at least something different. So it is good for Cody also. He needs different stuff on his character. So let's go also like, very quick to like John Moxley, also with Darby Allin, Sting, the same stuff, like, beating some jobbers. Who cares? This is just, unnecessary one more time. Some segments of the show were not good. I don't know why you need this type of stuff. So, there you go. In the end,
I agree with them on commentary is that Bear Country, to me, they're almost like a Viking, like a version of the Viking Raiders. I could see you easily doing our heavy machinery. I could see them, being a future contender in the tag division in a year or two. But just some other random job guy. Like, look at that Harry. It's like, who is this guy? They picked him up at the 7-Eleven. They're like, hey, put on this pair of tights. And
Bronson Reed, like Bronson Reed wannabes. Yes, exactly. No, it's not good. And he's like Sting goes over like usual. Darby goes over like Moxley and also Eddie Kingston. I mean, everybody Brody Lee. That's kind of cool. That's all I can say on that matter. But like, yes, this match is like, where does it go? Is it gonna be a feud?
This is one of those where it fell off the rails and it was only going to get worse.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, like, for me, not interested at all. So, there you go. So, let's move on quickly to just be Britt Baker cutting a promo how she beat Ruby Soho. This is good, and we'll see who's the next woman to step up to her. But maybe that could be, and we're going to see a match on AEW Rampage, so maybe one of those three could be a potential number one contender for her, so that's going to be fine. Let's go to the Dark Order. Like you said, how many men did you say? 16-man tag, right?
Yeah, 16-man tag. Is this the first time that's ever happened?
I think so. Yeah, I think like there was way too many guys. Yes,
and this was. I feel bad because this was supposed to be like a match in honor of Brody Lee, right? So these guys versus the Hardy family, whatever they're called. And to me, if you wanted to do that, it should have been Silver Reynolds, and 10. It should have been, those three versus Matt Hardy, Angelico, and Evans. And then the Dark Order beats them. That's what it should have been. Legit. You can have Brody Lee Jr. and the mob come out, the crowd, Brody Lee. You can even bring the belt out again. Then you can bring the rest of the members of the Dark Order. They can all hug, throw up the hand sign, It can be legit and done.
Oh yeah, no, and then the worst thing for me, like you said, it's fine. It's Brody Lee. You gotta do the tribute. You gotta pay some respect to him. It's his hometown, and they have they have this close relationship with him, with the wife, with the kid, all of that. So she play a factor into this match because the storyline. She came out and addressed Grayson and Evil Luna to join them and all of that. At the end, they get the win. They job Matt Hardy and all of that, and they're all happy and laughing. So there you go.
Yeah, I was just going to say, instead of booking it the simple way I did it, it's convoluted that they were fighting. And then, like you said, -1 and the mom had to come out with the girls and be like, oh, be legit. And then they go in there and then they just beat the shit out of everybody. Like you said, now all of a sudden they're badass. Now they can just beat everybody up like it's no problem. So, this was just a train wreck. Orange Cassidy was there for some reason. Who the hell, this was just so bad.
It's one of the things that we always say,
Because it was for Brody Lee, I feel bad saying that, but it wasn't a good segment.
Oh no, that wasn't, and it's we get it, but it's just unnecessary. It's just I will change everything about this. Maybe a video package will be a lot better, but they didn't do that. It's fine. So let's go to the next one, Paul. And this again, Dan Lambert talking about how they beat Chris Jericho. He's not going to be there, probably touring with Fozzy. So they don't need Chris Jericho right now. They have way too many star power with Danielson, with CM Punk, with all the bugs, with Kenny Omega. It's fine that he's away. So also we saw Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page cutting especially you said that he got a really great promo. But hopefully this translates into good matches, good feuds. CM Punk could be a possible opponent right there. So why don't they cash in on Ethan Page a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I think. They're really going to start pushing these guys because the promo he had was good. He was fired up. He's like, I haven't been pinned or submitted here, but nobody talks about that. And he's like, people say, oh, why are you a tough guy? Why do you think you're a tough guy? He's like, because 2, black belts and martial arts make me a tough guy. And it's hard to argue that because, you can be we all know wrestling is, kayfabe. It's you're working together. So a tough guy might be the biggest pushover, in a real fight. But, you have belts in karate. You know what you're doing. You can handle yourself. So, he at least can back it up. He cuts a good promo. And he said, Scorpio Sky and I, we don't have action figures. We're not on the intro. We're not on the billboard. We feel disrespected. So that's why they joined up with Dan Lambert. And this is good. They got to start beating up some job teams, beating up some guys. And, you either put the tag belts on them at some point or, you really do something with them. But
we'll see. But at least the promo work is they're finally becoming more believable. So the word that you're saying is what I will just repeat. They need to do something with these guys. Please do something with them.
Yeah.
Maybe a match instead of this because Anna Jay and also Tay Conti going against the Bunny and Penelope Ford. Cake wise for the eye is fine. It's easy to see, but again, do I put him on a show that is supposed to be, one of the best shows right now in professional wrestling? Probably not. In the end, Anna Jay did a submission hole. They get the win. They picked up the win. Finally, they beat the Bunny and also Penelope Ford. And in the end, they hug with Brody Lee's son. So if it is for Brody Lee,
I love what CM Punk said. He's like, "Oh, that's a smart kid." I'm like, CM Punk knows.
Oh well, exactly. He's 12 and everything, but hey, he's grabbed more cake than maybe a lot of people in their entire lives. So and good cake, quality cake. So it's good for him. So let's move on, Paul. MJF, he was cutting a promo. No even mention of Brian Pillman. So he's completely done. He's okay, I got to do the job. It's fine, whatever. So he's now eyeing into Darby Allin. So he got a really good promo saying about how he's one of the pillars of AEW.
He beat Brian Pillman. He didn't do the job.
Oh well, you know what, but you know what I mean. He already that's done. And there's not going to be another feud. There's not going to be another match. So that's completely off the table. But now the next opponent is going to be Darby Allin, and they were talking, and he pretty much said about the accident that he had with his uncle, and the wrong person died. So MJF going all the way here, and that's why he's probably the best promo in pro wrestling right now.
Yeah, MJF is so legit and. I mean, there's one guy who I think, you said a homegrown guy in AEW who should be champion. It should be MJF.
Oh yeah,
Because he
yeah.
can be such a legit heel champion. I mean, this guy can talk a great promo. He's a great wrestler. And his whole thing, he's like, oh, yeah, the 4 pillars here of the young guys. He's like, okay, I got to admit, it's not just me. He said Jungle Boy. He's like, oh, but I beat him. Sammy Guevara. Oh, I beat him. Darby Allin, but whatever. And he's like, of course, me, I'm the best one. And then, like you said, Darby Allin came out, and that's when he said everything about his uncle. And, just think, oh, the wrong person died. It should have been you. And then Darby Allin's like, you can't break me, and pretty much getting in his face. And this was good because it's one of the things where this is a match, you would think whoever comes out of this has got to challenge for some kind of title.
Yeah, no, it needs to. Title. It needs to. And, like the one thing I really appreciate was like how he said he has Bruce Pritchard on speed dial. So I'm telling you, like, if things don't work out for MJF,
that was pretty much the point of the promo was he's like, if I don't get what I want, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, and I think that actually is going to be real life. He's actually going to go and be the first one from AEW to go to WWE. I already predicted this, so like if it happens, hey, I deserve some royalties right here because I really think that like they don't know how to cash in on him, and they should. They have this Danielson thing, Omega, see, and what about him?
I mean, to me, Hangman Page would be another one.
I mean, Hangman will be also there, yeah.
He was like the Mustafa Ali. Remember Mustafa Ali was supposed to win Elimination Chamber and it was supposed to be badass?
And nothing happened. Exactly.
I think when Hangman comes back, they'll be like, hey, we have Danielson, we have Punk, we have Bray Wyatt, we have...
way too many people for you, buddy. Yeah. Exactly. So, we're going to see what happens. Remember, Orange Cassidy against Jack Hagan. And, that's what hair versus hair match. That's why Rampage every single week is losing viewership because, way too many shows. And, especially put it on a Friday night at 10 p.m. A lot of people are drinking, doing other things than watching professional wrestling. There you go. It doesn't matter what you do. This is going to be good. I like this. Probably like a number 1 contenders, not even said, but based on the rankings. Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, and Jay Cargill here. This is going to be great. I like this just because either Thunder Rosa pulls the upset, meaning like beats these 2 big women, and then they can go to Britt Baker for like Full Gear, or maybe Jade Cargill gets the opportunity. We'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah, this is really one of the only intriguing matches. I mean, I think Danielson and Nick Jackson will be good. Nick Jackson is actually, the good wrestler of the Young Bucks. So that match, I think, will be good. And that women's triple threat is definitely going to be exciting to see who comes out or the winner from that. But other than that, Rampage, like you said, the viewership goes down. They don't really have anything, big money. It's not like, oh, here's a tag match, tag team championship match, or here's Miro defending, or who we're going to get into now, Sammy Guevara, defending. But I think Rampage is still, especially after last week, it's kind of like, I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, like I say, Rampage is again unnecessary. It's like you need to have 1 or 2 shows. That's it, not 4 or 5. Nobody talks about Elevation anymore. Nobody talks about Dark. Why? Because you just have like the beat players on those shows. So the next week we're going to see the Casino Ladder match. At least this is going to be from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So this is going to be from our state, and this is going to be interesting because who gets a match? But like in neither of these cashes like been successful. So that's why I'm thinking that they should change the concept of this, and then maybe make the guy that wins it like wait, and then maybe cash in and then become a champion. Because otherwise this becomes meaningless, right, Paul?
Yeah, like you said, unless they're gonna do the swerve and they take it off the Lucha Bros right away, and they put it right back on the Young Bucks. I mean,
that will suck.
Yeah, that will suck. We really don't know, but like you said, is this gonna be the thing where, you win this, but the winner of this never actually won?
What happens? They just defend, or they have the match the next week instead of like waiting it, making it look special.
I think it should definitely be safe for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. So, hopefully the winner does that. We'll see what happens, but they're going to bring it back. This is going to be great. Hikaru Shida, if she wins, is going to be her 50th win on AEW Dynamite, but she's going to go against Serena Deeb. You said you wanted Serena Deeb to go over. Why? Because this could create a big feud, and this is also between these 2 girls that have great talent, great wrestling ability, and they could tell us really great stories outside of the championship picture. So I'm good for it. Hikaru Shida hasn't been on Dynamite in forever, so I want to see whatever the outcome is. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean, I really think Serena Deeb, she's probably going to put over Hikaru Shida, and I think she's going to bring her to her best match. So I'm really looking forward to it as well. And after that, I mean, I really don't know what you do. Do you then Maybe you do Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, the rematch. Britt Baker wins, and then you do Thunder Rosa. Is this going to be like the next feud, to hold you over until we get to that pay-per-view? I really don't know, but I am looking forward to this match.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens on that. We're going to see also a lot of guys in the. We talk about this in the beginning of the show, and they're going to be the Elite against Brand Danielson, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. A lot of multi-man matches. I don't know. Again, it's you have all the talent in the world. You're not using it right. I just feel you're not using it right because it's more of they put the big spots, all of that. I don't know. I mean, I would much rather see them separate.
Christian just feels so lost.
Because it's and the fact that he doesn't even come out with the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, that should be hey, man, I'm a champion myself, so I don't need to be in this.
He should come out and look at and pretty much shoot on the Good Brothers and be like, I'm disgusted that you guys are the Impact World Tag Champs.
Yeah, or shoot on Joseph Alexander, say, hey, my show is better. Do something that at least is gonna bring me back to where he's from. He's the current Impact. He doesn't even come out with the belt. So it's so on Thursdays you're champion, but on Wednesdays you're just an afterthought one more time in your career, in your life. I don't know. But, let's go to the TNT Championship match, Miro against Sammy Guevara. We said this. Sammy Guevara is the same thing that MJF just said. Hey, I'm a AEW grown. I'm a homegrown AEW guy. So probably you're going to put the title on me, and they did this with Sammy. It sucks to be Miro because he's performing at the best right now. But, I guess they had to go with Sammy. They felt that, the run has its courts, ended its courts, you know what I mean? And I don't know, but, the match was not too bad. Like you said at the end, stupid ending, but the match quality before that, it was good.
Oh, no, I really enjoyed this match. I thought, Miro still looked dominant in here, but Sammy, obviously he has, that tenacity, that fight from behind, and his high-powered offense, and especially, they said, oh, what's Miro's only weakness? It's the neck. So Sammy goes after the neck, the big tornado DDT and everything. It's really that's pretty much Miro's Achilles heel. That's what they go after. And, the match, it was really good. And up until, Miro, he hit the big, Machka kick or not game over, whatever they call the kick. And, he hit that and, Guevara kind of rolled out of the ring. He gets pissed off. And instead of just throwing it back in the ring and, maybe doing a big slam and then putting him in the accolade, or I guess that's what the game over is, that camel clutch and, pretty much choking him out, he just starts ripping off the turnbuckle pads. And it's what the hell is going on here? Then Guevara comes in, kicks him pretty much into the turnbuckle, hits his head, done. Then I think he hits a jumping tornado DDT off the turnbuckle, the big Spanish fly, 1, 2, 3. And wins it. And we saw this. Fuego came out, right before it. That caused Sammy to come in and then, do all that offense I just mentioned. But, to me, it makes Miro look like an idiot. It makes him look
I didn't like that. No.
And, but maybe that's the only way they thought to put him over is, by complete distraction. And, but I don't know. There could have been a better way. But just not even have this match. I don't know. To me, Miro was on such a run. He should have just continued. You could have done something with Sammy. I feel, I don't know. Maybe they thought it was time because they really don't know what to do with him. Hopefully, they just do something good with Miro. I just don't.
Oh yeah, no. Then Miro. Now, the main thing is to see where's he gonna go right now. And he's actually, I give you breaking news. Sammy Guevara is gonna defend this championship that he just won against Bobby Fish next Dynamite. Bobby Fish is also going to be AEW, so there you go. His close is up. A lot more guys coming to AEW. Hey, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, to keep bringing guys. You're not going to have enough time, or at least to feature them correctly.
That's one thing Eric Bischoff said. He's especially about, Bray Wyatt, he's watch out for all these, debuts, because eventually, people are just going to expect it and then all the time.
Yes, because we saw also the debut today of Leo Rush. So Leo Rush is back in pro wrestling, full time. He was on MLW. He was trying to get a company that will make him look good, because I don't think wrestling is his main income right now. He's trying to do other things, but he's back on AEW. So we'll see. They need either more belts, but I don't know if you're going to do justice to get a belt just to get featured guys. But a lot of more people going in, and when they time to trim the fat, we'll see.
The only thing I'm thinking is because we see Rampage is going to stay on, as the rumor goes, the Rampage is going to stay on TNT, and then Dynamite is going to move to TBS.
Yes,
maybe they'll switch the belts. Maybe they'll make a TBS championship. So maybe there'll be 2 TV belts, and then that'll make our Rampage feel more special because the TNT Championship will only be defended on either pay-per-view or on Rampage. So, like, you got to watch that, to see those matches, so it'll make you tune in. That's really the only thing I can see to maybe help. Like you said, these guys, they have to fight over something because Omega seems locked up with Bryan Danielson for the foreseeable future. So, what's somebody like Miro or all these other guys? Are they going to challenge? I don't think so. So
No, and then see, that's the thing, is like they need to bring other stuff, other stipulations, other elements, so like they can have more matches. But this is what we have, family. This is the AEW review. Thank you so very much for being with us one more time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and also give the video a like so more people are exposed to the original Raw Break, tomorrow NXT UK, and where else can they find us, Paul?
And don't forget to follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...